Hey there, I am Sherry Samuels, and this is your thought for the week. So, for all of us, things happen in life that don't always feel so great. Often, though, when those things happen, we start to create barriers that keep us from experiencing more peace, more calm, more joy, and really all of the healing and growth that we want in our lives. But what can we do to change the narrative, to change the story, to create a new path for ourselves when those things happen so that we're not creating barriers? First, it's important to remember that disappointment happens. Often when we experience disappointment, we want to do everything possible to keep it from happening again. So we create these other patterns that aren't serving our highest good. Instead of doing that, face the disappointment. Allow yourself to embrace the fact that disappointment happens, and with it comes opportunities to learn, to grow, and to be better versions of ourselves. No, it doesn't feel good. It's not meant to, but it's important for us to embrace it and to accept it for what it is and allow ourselves to keep moving from there on out. It's also important to remember to stay curious. And I know I'm always talking about the importance of being curious, but when it comes to creating barriers in our lives, it's so important that we stay curious. We stay curious about ourselves. And we often think, oh, well, I know myself better than anybody knows me. But guess what? There's always something to learn. And when we are making the time to learn about ourselves, to really be gentle and playful with what we learn about ourselves, we are able to keep moving, to stop creating or to discontinue creating those barriers and to really just allow it to be a space of learning and growing. It's also important to remember that you always have to take a chance on yourself. When we're being curious, when we're looking for ways to better understand ourselves, it doesn't always feel comfortable, but we have to take a chance. We have to take a chance and recognize that when we start taking those chances on ourselves, we are doing what we need to do in order to be the best version of ourselves. It doesn't feel comfortable. It's not meant to, but it's important to take steps toward taking chances on ourselves that push us to learn and grow in different ways and avoid creating new barriers and move toward breaking those old barriers. Finally, I challenge you to be compassionate with yourself. It's easy for us to show compassion to other people. It's easy for us to be kind to other people when they're having difficult moments, but when it comes to ourselves, we're not always showing that compassion. When we're hard on ourselves, when we beat ourselves up for things that happen, that leads us to create more barriers. Because why? Because we don't want to feel that discomfort, that uncomfortable feeling, or the disappointment. So we have to remember to be compassionate with ourselves. Where there's compassion, there's opportunity to grow, and there's opportunity to break those old barriers, to change stories that have been holding us back, and to really live from a place that feels at peace and where we can grow and feel joy. So I challenge you this week to really think about, are there barriers that you've created around yourself unconsciously? It's not like we're doing it on purpose. We're just trying to protect ourselves. But the best way to improve who we are, to improve on ourselves, is to take opportunities, to find opportunities to learn and grow, to move forward, to remove those old barriers because those things don't serve us at all. So I challenge you to keep that in mind this week. And if you need support, if you need help, where do you find me? SherrySamuels.com or Sherry@SherrySamuels.com. You can also check out one of my small group talking circles. That's a great way to really get to that place of connecting to self and learning and being a better version of yourself. In the meantime, I hope you have an amazing week. And this was your thought for the week.